When I was 18, I joined a private school which you had to pay for to get in to learn graphics design and actually learn how to become a graphics designer for a video game, like a video game artist, or for a movie. Like in Hollywood, you would basically do all the 3D like video effects, special effects stuff. I think we've all been to that point where we were like 18, freshly out of high school, and we didn't really know what to do, and we just went for the first thing that was most appealing and most interesting to our young brain, undeveloped brain at the time. And this is exactly what happened to me when I was back in France. I grew up, and basically what was like a normal childhood like everybody else. Like I used to play video games, I used to watch movies, and so that's the first thing that appealed to me. Like, oh, this is interesting. Like everything else, like, I don't know, I'm not sure. And I wasn't thinking 3-4 steps ahead. I was just picking the first thing that was most interesting at the moment. At the time, I was fat, I was overweight, I didn't know what I wanted to do, I didn't know what job I wanted to do, I didn't know how I wanted to gain a living, like make a living. I didn't know how and why and how and actually what I wanted to do, why I wanted to do it. I didn't know anything. I didn't ask myself any questions. I was basically just going through life and reacting to everything around me. And I started looking at myself in the mirror, and every time I did, I felt like a sense of deep like shame and regret. Like, I'm fat, dude. Like, that feels kind of bad. And I was like, surely there's somebody that can like start talking to me about that. Like, it wasn't like active in my brain. Like, yeah, I feel shit when I look at myself in the mirror, but I'm just gonna drown myself in video games and like eating Cheetos and junk food and all of that. Instead, I started learning how to become a better person through a couple recommendations on YouTube like 3 years ago. And slowly but surely, I started like getting into self-improvement, getting better. Every single day I would learn something new. If it like helped my nutrition, helped my workouts, I got into the gym. I started like going for a run at like 5 a.m. in the morning every single day. Like there's a whole lot of things that like pile on top of each other, and I was like binge learning how to become better, and all around you could say like I'm like being a better human. So I would sit down and I would like literally pick at myself like, okay, what kind of problems do I have right now that I can fix, that I can work on? It's like, well, I feel super uncomfortable and really, really anxious when I'm like speaking publicly to a classroom of like classmates, or to like my friends, or to like anybody else, like in a public situation. Like I would literally feel like no, this is too much for me, like, and I wanted to fix that. So I decided to like, okay, well, why don't I just create a YouTube channel and for like 2 years just speak every single day and like improv. And slowly but surely I became better and better and more articulate in English, and just speaking perfectly fine in any situation in improv. And that just took so many repetitions, and I had to get rid of my past self to get there. And it's at that moment that I actually started learning about like, oh, I could learn like a specific skill that would like actually make me able to like start my own business, or learn my own skills to actually start making money online instead of just go and get a job like everybody else. Like my parents like told me like, oh no, you get a job, you get a degree, you get this. And it's like, that's not exactly the reality that we live in today. Like our parents, like the past generation, talked about doing the same thing that they are doing, or they did, because it worked for them. But if you look at the financial position that they had, the money, the prices, the everything, like wasn't the same cost, wasn't the same amount of effort you needed to put in. Wasn't like you could literally like buy 4 times the amount of groceries back then with the same amount of like money. So it started appealing to me like, yeah, I can become my own business owner. Like, oh, I would love to work for myself instead of working for somebody else. Like, that would be really, really cool. Like, I could actually like plan my whole day out and like fix my own schedule and do my own like tasks and pick and choose and like problems. I can solve my own problems. It's like, oh, interesting. And I started getting into something called digital marketing, and which is basically what I'm doing today. So I started learning copywriting, I started learning social media management, I started learning a bunch of stuff so that I could like actually structure everything really, really well, organize, become a really, really disciplined individual so that I could share these skills with business owners and they would pay me for it, so I could make a living off of this skill that I learned, instead of the business owner learning the skill and spending so much time and effort as much as I would to put into the skill. I put my own energy and time into the skill, so that way the business owner pays me, because money is just time and energy of other people. And so he gives me his time and energy and money so that I can take care of his marketing for him. So that was the plan. And I started like working. It's like, oh, this is like, I started working at it. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty hard. Like, it was not easy at the start. Like, I can tell you, like, all of these people online that say, oh, no, it's super easy to start a business today. It's like, have you ever like really done anything from nothing? Like, growing a business from nothing. Like, you have to learn everything. You have to do everything yourself. You can't pay anyone unless you have like a huge amount of capital. Most people do not. I did not. I had to do everything myself. So I had my time, I had my energy, and I just had to become the most productive as possible with my time, managing it correctly so that I could get the best results possible for somebody at my stage. And I had so many failures, and I had so many trials and tribulations, and it really felt pretty bad. Like, it's like, this project, like, I'm gonna charge this amount for this client. It's like, nah, I don't have any experience. Okay, well, I need to like find another solution. Okay, don't charge. Do not like go to the client and talk to him and say like, oh no, you don't need to pay. I'm just doing this for testimonial and experience. Okay, that works. Then I get the testimonial and I get the experience, and then I talk to people and I say, okay, well, I've done this for that person. This amount of work equals this amount of money. So you are gonna pay me this amount if I solve this problem for you in your marketing like schedule. Like, I could rewrite your entire website so that you get more conversions, or I could go see a like photographer and say like, if you're like struggling with getting enough bookings throughout the week, then I can rework your entire social media strategy, and we can make it so that people are more incentivized and like persuaded to actually book your services, because you are going to appear as the option for them. So that's the kind of work that I am currently doing, and I've been doing for the past 3 years. Now, this has been a huge mega journey, honestly. Like, there have been so many like roadblocks and challenges and problems that I've solved, and I've become such a better person through it. I'm super proud of the person that I've become today. Now, some people like get on these types of journeys and they say like, oh, we have to learn this. We have to add all of this knowledge and like skill and mastery on top of who we are. But I think what's severely underrated is taking a look at your current life and like making a list of not only what you want to have like bonus, more like learning things, but also what you're willing to sacrifice, things of your past life that are not going to help you progress towards these goals. Now, if this goal is important enough to you, then you are going to sacrifice everything that is not making sense to progress towards it. So if you take an example about the, like, for example, the Eisenhower matrix helps you pick and choose and like categorize which tasks that you're performing or urgent, not urgent, important and not important. And what's in the not important and not urgent tasks, then you need to delete those. And that is going to free up a lot of your time. So it can be so small as instead of walking, you can run, or instead of like walking to the store, you can take a bike, or you can take the car to save like a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there. Or you could, instead of watching the 3-hour movie, you could like not watch the movie and like literally make 3 hours so that you can invest it into your work. Instead of playing those like 4 hours of video games, then you can actually invest those into your business and making it grow and progress and solve your problems. And the longer and the more amount of time that you can invest into your business, the more productive and the more rewarding it is going to be at the end of the day. Along the way, I managed to meet an extraordinary person named Ryan. Now, Ryan is my business partner in this agency of ours that we created called Echelon. Now, Echelon is the agency that really started from nothing. I met Ryan on a self-improvement group, and we started off by just keeping ourselves accountable with each other. Now we had over 10, maybe closer to 20 people in the group, and by the end, only me and Ryan were basically kind of the last remaining. It's everybody was kind of falling off and doing all sorts of stuff, and me and Ryan, we said, okay, well, we can see, I can see that Ryan is very productive, and Ryan could see I'm very productive as a person, and we said why don't we stick together and we make something interesting? Maybe we could give each other feedback on the amount of work that we do. I was at the moment when we first met, I was super focused on copywriting and digital marketing. He was focused on the same thing but more social media oriented. So we started just giving each other feedback. It's oh no, maybe you should do this, oh maybe you should do that, oh I think you should do this way, maybe that way. And slowly we started understanding a bunch of things, and then we started making calls daily. We started messaging ourselves daily, and from there we said okay, well, I'm doing all of this, you're doing all of that, why don't we just put everything together and work together? And it's that's an incredible idea, because we don't have many people today that actually have that kind of work ethic and that kind of putting our foot down and investing our time into what we want to build and becoming successful, building our future, instead of everybody else our age doing nothing, having fun. We chose to not have fun and have less fun, fun, if you can even call it fun, what people do today when they're 20 or 18. So back to the point, we started building yeah, we can put everything together and then start building it to something. And then that's where today now we have Echelon. We can actually put a name on it and say okay, Ryan does all of this, I do all of this, and it's we put everything together, and then if we get a client, then we work on that client together. We aren't doing anything on our own. We put everything in common and move towards the goal that we set for our agency. Instead of having one goal each, so 2 goals, we have one goal and we're moving towards it together, which is much better, because it is teams of people that manage to do great things. If you're on your own until the end of time, you are gonna be destroyed and demolished by teams of people. 5-6 people can literally demolish you, even though you're working harder than them. They just have more energy and more time, and they're gonna destroy you. So after a while, I started thinking okay, well, we are going through a lot of problems, a lot of trials, tribulations, and we got a few testimonials, we got a few things here and there, but it's not working. It's not clicking. I was still in France at the moment. Ryan is located in the US, and we were having calls and we were doing stuff and we were progressing, but we weren't progressing like that. Like we weren't going fast enough. So I said, you know what? I need to take a major leap. I need to take a risk. I need to like make sacrifices. I need to do more. Like I haven't been doing enough. And that's when I was still in France and I decided to move to New Zealand. Literally take a flight, sell all of my equipment, sell my gaming computer, sell my 3 fucking screens, sell my entire house, sell my like everything in my apartment, everything sold, given away, or like stored in a fucking storage unit. And then I just took a leap of faith, believed in myself hard enough so that I could do anything I wanted, like to put my mind to achieving. I said, dude, I've got some family in New Zealand. I'm gonna go there, and that is gonna put myself out of my comfort zone so that I can grow faster. And that's exactly what that did. I got to New Zealand and immediately I started looking at what I needed to do, and I started doing in-person outreach. I started putting myself out there. I started becoming more socially okay with talking to people about what it is I do. And the more and more I repeated this, the more people started like paying attention. And then I managed to land a deal here, a deal there, and I started getting paid much higher than I was before. And I started getting more retainers, and I started upselling clients. And all of that thanks to me and Ryan and our collective effort to pushing this forward. So if you have a friend that's actually interested in like actually growing, I suggest that if you two like don't really know what you want to do, sit down and think about it together. Maybe you never know. Maybe he's like really fucking invested into crypto, or he's really invested into growing a YouTube channel, or he's really invested in a gym or sports or fighting or something. Like you can find each other like complementary skills, and the fact that you're friends, build a friendship that is as strong as a brotherhood. Like personally, I've never met Ryan in person. Like it's been like over 3 years that we've been talking with each other, and it's been working completely fine. Like we've been completely focused and dialed in. Like we're literally planning to get together in real life and literally hit him fly here and like, or me fly there, and work together in person, get an apartment, get a small thing, and then like just grind and like actually make stuff happen. That's a superpower. If you can make it happen, I like strongly suggest you get together with your friends, you rent a 1-bedroom apartment, you get a couple of couches to sleep on, and then you just put all of your computers in the like part of the room, and then you just work, and then you're gonna make something happen. If all you think about is money and all you think about is improving your skill and then going to the gym and getting stronger and improving, then that is all that is gonna happen to you. It's that simple, man. So right now we are moving towards a big goal. We've got these clients, we've got these things, but it's not enough. It's never enough. We need more. We need to sustain ourselves better. I decided to quit my job, take another risk, reduce the amount of money I was making, because I want to put more time and effort into this. Now this is a risk that not many people take, because getting a job is a stable source of income. It allows you to live off okay. If you don't do anything for a huge amount of time and you just work a job, then you're okay. Like you have food, your like rent's paid, like it's okay. But me and Ryan, we have high standards, so we want to make this happen. So I decided, invest, pour time and energy into what it is you want to do, what it is you want to achieve, and then see where that takes you over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years, dude. Imagine being consistent, just like when you go to the gym for 10 years straight. Day in, day out, day in, day out. Like consistent every single day, 7 out of 7 days, never miss a day, you're guaranteed to do something. You're guaranteed to achieve something if you just try. We started this brand really recently, and we started doing this like more like content and posting and like documenting our journey. We've been documenting it, but we've not been posting it online really like seriously. So now we've decided to put everything in common and build a brand together and talk about it together and talk on it together and move forward together and share our knowledge and skills with people so that they can solve their problems with digital marketing, consistency, time management, becoming a better person, and actually sharing what we believe in and what has worked for us for the past 3 years. So don't be surprised that you see Ryan like talking on this YouTube channel as well. Like, this is not just a channel for myself. Now, I think this idea was pretty cool. A lot of people do it, but they do it themselves. Like, me, myself. And it's like, we are two people. We can do so many more things than just one person. And so, I think this is really a good idea and it's going to work. Am I wrong? Follow to find out. And I'll see you in the next one.